What's going on, fam? My name is Ben Wexler. Thanks for clicking the video. I have a Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry. I triple minored in math, physics, and biology. I'm also a yoga teacher with almost 1,000 hours of teacher training. I'm a martial artist. I'm a musician, and I do this, okay? I dropped out of medical school so that I could pursue mastery in three things: music, movement, and motivation, or philosophy, or speaking to people in an inspiring way, like I'm doing right now. So once again, thank you for clicking on this video. Today, I want to talk about basically quantum healing. So one of the things that keeps happening to me is on this journey of mastery, of triple mastery, trying to master music, movement, and motivational speaking, is I will plan my day out to get a bunch of work done on all three avenues. And as soon as it comes time to sit down to get to work, I get hit. I'm inundated by this like immense fatigue that's like debilitating, and it's crippling. And it might be chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm not sure. I have reason to believe that it is my sympathetic nervous system is overactive. Okay? Now, your sympathetic nervous system, you have two kinds of nervous system: your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. Your parasympathetic is called your rest and digest. It's the one that we should, in theory, be operating from the vast majority of our days. But the sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response. And this is where you release adrenaline. This is where you release cortisol, which are stress hormones, which cause your body to release excess glucose, sugar, and put it to the molecule, put it to the muscles so that you can escape an immediate threat. You can handle an immediate threat. The issue with this, though, is that it prevents your body from healing. If you have a cold, it diverts energy from fighting that cold into, again, like escaping an immediate threat, like a lion or something like that. Because what good is fighting a cold if you're dead, right? And so that's the whole theory behind your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system. Now, your sympathetic nervous system, when it's overactive, it can cause this fatigue. It can cause this crippling fatigue, as evinced by chronic fatigue syndrome. If you look at all of the ways that, all of the methodologies that I've seen that work on YouTube that fix this are all mental, and they all have to deal with relaxing away from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. People that have this issue, they are overachievers. They're chronic overachievers, and I think the reason is because you're so stressed that, and this sense of like trying to achieve comes from a place of scarcity, a place of lack, and a place of stress. And so I think that that's what's happening. Now, where the quantum healing thing comes in is that I think that what I can do, so like in my personal life, I'm battling with, and does this mean that I'm not supposed to go for this? Right? Does this mean that I'm not supposed to be going for this? Because when I look at logically, when I look at what I really want in my heart, it always points to this every single time. But when it comes time to work on it, I just get overwhelmed with fatigue. And so the question is like, okay, is this actually right for me? Should I be doing something else? Right? And so to me, it's this loop, and it's very tiring. It's this very tiring loop. It's like I get tired, then I take a break. I tell myself it's okay to relax. I tell myself I'll get after it tomorrow, and I end up relaxing. I get energy again, and then the cycle repeats. Right? I'm like, I get all fired up. I'm back. I got energy. I'm back. Let's do it. And then I hit the wall again. And so Joe Dispenza's work, a lot of Joe Dispenza's work is quantum healing. And it's based on the idea that, like, so you have an electron. around an atom, right? Around the nucleus of an atom. And the electron, as we know, exists in the Bohr model, the old school model of the atom, where you have like the nucleus and a bunch of rings around it, right? There's very clear valences, right? So like there's the first valence is the one that's closest to the nucleus, the second valence, et cetera, right? And the more electrons you have, the more valences you have. And then also we know from analyzing atoms that there's like p orbitals and d orbitals, and like so there's s orbitals, and they tend to take different shapes, and so we can predict that they're going to be in these certain configurations. We predict that they're going to be in these certain levels, but that's for another time. Okay, what we want to do is quantum healing, like quantum personal growth, is we want to imagine a version of us that's better, right? We want to like imagine the version of us that is our optimal self, our actualized self, and then we want to bring that reality into now, right? We want to feel it as it is. This is manifestation 101, is you have to assume that you have it right now. You have to behave, you have to move as if it already is so, and then it will be so. It will not be so. You will not feel that way after it is so. It doesn't work that way. You have to feel a certain way, and then you put enough of that energy out that over enough time, the universe starts to feed it back to you. And then you have the life that you want. That's what manifesting is, right? So the fallacy is I will feel like a king, I will feel like a G, I will feel like a boss when I get X amount of dollars, I get this much cars, I get this many women. It doesn't work that way though. You have to feel that way now, and then with enough time, the universe will pull it back to you. And so what you're doing is you're pulling in the quantum a different version of you that exists on a higher orbital, so to speak, and then collapsing it into the now. That's what you're trying to do. Well, now, what I think is the next step, and I'm not sure if Joe Dispenza has ever talked about this, is that you have to also, in order to handle an excited state, okay, so electrons can also jump valences, right? So let's say an electron jumps, it absorbs energy, usually in the form of light, a photon, and then it can jump valences. Okay, and then it can hang out there for a little while, and then it falls back down. And when it falls back down, it emits a photon. We see this in light. We see this in physics and chemistry. It's been a long time. I think it's called the photoelectric effect. Yeah, it is called the photoelectric effect. And so my theory is that, like, in order to sustain the higher valence, you have to hang on to that photon, right? It's also called an excited state. Right? So if you can sustain, in order to sustain the excited state, it can't be an excited state for you anymore. The reason you're able to sustain your current reality is because you're comfortable with that reality. It's not exciting to you. And I bet you if you think about where you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you probably have a lot right now that you wish you had back then, right? But right now it's normal to you. And back then you might, if you just had it overnight, you might flip out. You might self-sabotage, you might crash out, like you might do a bunch of crazy things to lose it, right? And it's because it's too exciting to you, right? Exciting in a bad way, like exciting in an unstable way, right? That's what's happening, right? Electron absorbs a photon, jumps to another valence, and then it's unstable, so it loses the photon and comes back down. We want to make that higher, that alternate reality, that extra valence, that higher, that excited state, our regular state. And so how do we do that? You have to act as if it is so. You have to act as if you deserve it. You have to act as if it's normal, and you have to relax. You have to be able to relax and do the work. It's just got to be another day for you, right? Imagine talking to a babe, a stunner. You see her at the gym or wherever. You walk up to her, and you just think she's drop dead gorgeous. And let's say you're a 10. We know you're not, but let's just say you're a 10, right? But if you think she's so much above you that you get like, it feels unnatural to you. You get too excited. You'll walk up and it'll definitely go south. You'll get too excited. You'll get too nervous. That's what nervous is, right? Nervous. We use that word nervous. Nervous to me means it's your sympathetic nervous system, right? We don't refer to nervousness as parasympathetic nervous system because that's relaxed. And so I think it's a misnomer there. But the point is you get too nervous, you get too agitated, you get too excited, and so you'll behave in ways that you're not using your full capacity of you're using your limbic system, part of your brain, your reptilian brain, your fight or flight brain. You're not acting as the full version of you. You're acting as like the minimal, the primal version of you. You know? And so you will make bad decisions, you'll probably not do it. But if you know this is just what I do, I just talk to baddies. This is just who I am. Right? It's just going to feel like another day. It's just going to feel like this is just what you do. And so then you'll be able to walk through and you'll be able to make moves at your fullest capacity. And so it's counterintuitive because we want to chase the exciting thing. It's exciting. It's like, let's do the exciting thing. But like when you get there, you see that it's not really that exciting at all. Right? And this is I think this is what actors and billionaires, I think this is what they talk about. It's like they used to fantasize about, they wanted to make so much money and they would be happy. Like Jim Carrey always talks about this. And then they get it and then they realize that it's just whatever now. Right? And so the real truth, the real thing, like another way that we can collapse that alternate reality, the reality that we want, into the now, is by relaxing into it. It's kind of boring. It's kind of almost sad in a way. You know, it feels less exciting. It feels less, but that's the actual way. Because if you were too excited, you would lose it, right? Or in my case, you get too stressed out about it that you can't even do anything. It's this thing that you want. You know you want it. You know it's for you. But you're getting in your own way because you're getting too stressed out about it. Whereas if it was just another day, if you move through it in a relaxed way, like picture Rick Rubin. If you've never seen Rick Rubin, his work is amazing. I'm pretty sure he's an enlightened being. Everything that he talks about, especially in his book, The Creative Act, is perfectly in agreement with enlightenment, yoga, and moving through life in that kind of not detached, effortless way. Right? He's so calm and he's so centered, and it doesn't mean you don't get animated and you're not really into it, but it's like, because you can watch videos of him when he was younger, and he was, but like it's just this effortless way of being, right? It's not like you going against the universe to have the universe grind to a halt to make what you want to happen. It's about changing yourself so that the universe changes to fit. Right? It's not like I will force my will on the universe. It's realizing that the universe has this natural flow, this natural harmony, this natural resonance that you only need to attune to, and then you'll get what you want if it's right for you. And if it's not right for you, tuning to this frequency will point, and pulling the thread will take you to what is right for you. And this is where action comes in, right? This is why like you can't just tune into this and then all of a sudden everything happens. You still got to take the steps, right? But when you have trust, when you have faith, when you have perseverance, trial and error, failure is a necessary prerequisite to success. We know this. Then you can take the action, right? And this relaxedness, this almost expectant feeling of getting what you want will help carry you through and bring you strength, because if you're stressed about it, if you're unsure about it, oh my God, the wind will just blow you wherever it wants, right? As soon as motivation it leaves you, right? There's the famous quote, when something like, motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. Discipline is here every day. And the way that you gain discipline, The easier way to gain discipline, in my opinion, is bypassing the whole grinding through discipline, right? I need to grind and do these things I don't want to do to gain discipline. You can bypass that by just relaxing into it and just being like, this is who I am. This is what I need to do, right? This is just a part of the process, right? When you view it as this is just a part of the process instead of this big obstacle you got to overcome, doesn't that just squash it and make it, it doesn't make it like non-effort, like it, what's the word here? It makes it a lot easier, right? It doesn't make it like completely unsuck. It still sucks having to eat healthy food instead of sugar every day, you know? But instead of like, oh, like this resisting, why can't I have sugar? And like this looking at like eating healthy, for example, as this evil thing that you just have to do. Instead, you just realize like, yo, this is just a part of the process. And I'm doing this process no matter what, because this is who I am now, and I'm relaxed about it. That's how you get to quantum healing. I hope you like this video. Tune in for more. This is my channel where every time I feel called to speak something, I throw up my camera, I put up my mic, and I record it, and I post it, and it's usually pretty good, I think. You let me know what you think. This is the first time that I've actually like introduced myself and stuff like that. So if you like this style of video, or you think I could improve in some way or whatever, still a new channel, literally 83 subscribers. I started this channel years ago and I actually lost a subscriber. I haven't gained one subscriber since I've started to post again. And my average views are like 10. I'm getting like 10 views per video. So if this gets to you and you like it or you don't like it, whatever, you want to tell me to buzz off, let me know. Because we out here and we're trying to do this, okay? Give it a like and a subscribe. I hate saying that stuff, but you know what to do if you dig it, all right? Peace and love. Until next time. Thank you.